Hi guys, it's Jeff at Slavens Racing. Just want to show you a new product we have called the Nitro Mousse by Nuetech. Nuetech is a company that invented the tubeless, which is an excellent system that I use on my bikes, but it's not a flat-proof system. And so for guys that are racing or whatever your situation is and you want to make sure you're totally covered for flats, then mousses are the way to go. So I've got a Michelin here. Michelin has kind of been the gold standard for many years. It's definitely dominated the market. And now we've got the new Nitro Mousse. Looks like a big O-ring. Now the Michelin comes with this shiny, scaly coating on the outside. Probably was put on there for production reasons, for popping them out of the mold, but I don't really know for sure. It does come off fairly quickly, and then they just look like this one. Both of them obviously have to be well lubricated when you install them, and that's one of the key factors to longevity on a mousse, is to keep them lubricated. If they get dry, then the friction goes way up and they wear out quickly that way. So the Michelin, what I don't like about Michelins is the feel of them. They have a dead feel, but that's also a plus for some guys. Some guys like the dead feel. I don't, and some guys really hate it. I'm kind of in between there, but so that dead feel kind of gives you a lack of feeling on what the front wheel is doing, and that's why I don't care for it. Some guys think it makes them go better through the rocks because it doesn't want to bounce off or something. I don't know that I totally agree with that, but you know, whatever rocks your boat. So the Nitro Mousse, it's charged with nitrogen, which gives it a more lively feel. It even has a different feel when you're squeezing it with your hands here, and it's also intended to increase the life of the mousse. These, from our testing, they seem to be lasting over 2 times longer than the Michelins. Now, with saying that, I also have to throw in all these disclaimers because the life of a mousse depends a lot on how it's used. If you keep them well lubricated, so the guys who have been doing this a long time know that, and they know about how long the lubricant lasts, and they tear them down and re-lubricate them every few rides. And if you don't keep them lubricated, they will definitely self-destruct quickly. Other factors are riding them on pavement. If you're going on long stretches of pavement, the heat will destroy them, as many Baja racers have figured out over the years. So the longevity of a mousse, you know, there's a lot of variables to that. Like some guys get a couple years out of Michelin, some guys get just a couple months out of them, and most guys get somewhere in between. So just to show you kind of the dead feel of this Michelin one, we'll drop it here on the concrete, and it doesn't bounce much. Do the same thing with the Nitro Mousse. If I hold it just right, and it's got a lot more bounce to it, a lot more response, and that kind of shows how it responds when it's mounted as well. A big plus on the Nitro Mousses is they're going to provide us with a chart here real soon. We'll have it in a couple of weeks. A chart with hundreds and hundreds of tires on it, different brands of tires, different sizes of tires. And that chart will show exactly what mousse to pick, because that's been a big challenge for guys using Michelins in the past, unless you used a Michelin tire. Now, if you do use Michelin tires, well, then it's really easy to figure out what mousse to use. But if you switch over to a different brand of tire, the sizing is difficult to figure out. And a lot of guys who have been into using mousses for a long time, they've got a selection of mousses at home, different sizes, and they've figured out over the years what fits what. And so it's kind of an art in itself for the guys who've been doing it a while. Nuetech is really trying to eliminate that problem by providing us with this chart. And like I said, we'll have that real soon. And that'll be posted on our website. And that way you can easily figure out which size to purchase. So benefits of the Nitro Mousse are it will last over 2 times longer than a Michelin. it has a much better feel at the beginning. So it does not have that stiffness when you first install it. But I'm going to back up a little on that, and that depends on the tire that you're putting it in. So if you're putting it in a really stiff carcass tire, yeah, you're going to have a stiff feel at the beginning until that tire breaks in. But if you put it in more of a medium stiffness carcass or a softer carcass, then there's going to be very little break-in period. These feel pretty much like they're going to feel when you first install them. And they'll maintain that feel for a long time. And they also feel a little better like the Michelins. Once they start getting a little bit soft on you, then the tire starts rolling. And so you go into the corner, especially the front tire, and the tire wants to fold over. And that's definitely not confidence inspiring for the rider. Both ends will tend to do that to some extent, and so then the whole bike starts getting a wiggly feel to it. That's one of my pet peeves about mousses. These, you won't have that feel for a much longer period of time because they're going to maintain their integrity and the nice feel that they have when they're new for a long, long time. And of course, that again depends on the tire you're putting it in and how well you keep this lubricated and the type of riding conditions, like if you keep it off of the pavement. I'm sure there's some other things I need to tell you about these mousses, but I think that's about it for now. We'll be posting more on these as we get information and feedback from customers, but it's all for now.